Now, if you're lucky enough to be taking off on holiday this week from the international airport, then you could find yourself at the centre of celebrations as the hub marks 50 years of business.
And from pop stars to presidents, they've all landed on the runway of the airport that's seen massive changes over the years. Touching down to celebrate an aviation anniversary.
BEA, British European Airways, announcing the departure of flight BE 539 to London. Will all passengers holding boarding cards for this flight please proceed to gate number 6 for immediate embarkation.
The first ever flight announcement at Belfast International Airport remembered word perfect by the man who made it all those years ago. And air travel in Northern Ireland today is very different than it was in 1963.
When you first came up here, you could just walk straight in and book in. And it was wide open. And in fact, it was very wide open. The check-in desk for British Airways there, the baggage went out through a hole to the aircraft, and the girls that used to sit there were absolutely frozen.
This picture shows passengers' cars parked neatly outside the departures, where they left them as they travelled on their holidays. And the buses lined up on the left of the picture were waiting to take incoming visitors to places like Ballycastle and Portrush. But not all the visitors were here to holiday.
This was the beginning of their rise to fame, and from memory they were going on the aircraft with Dusty Springfield over here for part of a show they were putting on, and they were just sitting in the normal seats in those days. They weren't special aircraft or special jets, they were just the guys going out, and that was it.
I think probably after I left, the odd president came in, which caused a bit of a stir, and of course the handling it on this side was very, very difficult. So many extra aircraft coming in.
Travel really has transformed over the last 5 years, 10 years, but really looking back here over the last 50 years, you know, parts of the airport are still the same, parts of it you really wouldn't recognise. I think aviation, people are fascinated by it, and there's a real interest in aviation, so we're delighted to be celebrating today.
So was 1963 the golden age of aviation, or do we prefer the modern ways? Do you prefer to fly now or then?
I like to fly all the time.
Yeah, see, you're never too old to fly. Furthermore, I remember Nuts Corner. That ages me more than a little.
There you go. From all of us here, have a very good evening.
Good evening.
The market. The market. What's going on?